Hello, I hope this video finds you well. This is going to be a little bit of a different one. I'm going to be very vulnerable in this video and it is scaring the crap out of me right now, but I am going to do it because I've been putting it off for a couple of weeks now and I feel like it's really important to share. The reason I'm doing this too is because I just went through a surgery and some procedures, and when I was looking for resources on this particular subject, they were few and far between. Well, let me not say that. There's a lot of information out there. However, information from someone who looks like me or is my age was few and far between, and that's why I feel like it's necessary for me to share. So now that we've gotten all that out of the way, let me tell you about my story. So in October 2020, this was last year, I went to see my gynecologist. Oh, heads up, we're gonna be talking reproductive health and women's stuff. So if that's something that interests you, or if you are a woman, I believe that you should be watching this video. If you have a woman in your life, you should be watching this video. So I go to the doctor or the gynecologist, and I go because I had been feeling a little bit uncomfortable in my stomach area. Now, I had an IUD in, and I had had it in for years since I was in college, and it had never given me any issues. So I go and I'm like, hey, I've been feeling kind of uncomfortable. She does the checks, she checks your stomach, she checks your boobs, she just does her regular procedures, and she asks me, do you have a history with fibroids? And I was like, no, not that I know of. I've never been told that I have a history with fibroids, or I've never been told that anyone in my family has ever suffered with that. I'm not quite sure even what that is, so no. And she was like, well, I feel like you may have them, and she goes and briefly explains to me what fibroids are. Let me look up the definition, excuse me, so you guys are in the know as well. Quick Google search says they are non-cancerous growths that are in the uterus. Okay, that's the plain and simple of it. So when she tells me that, I'm like, no, I've never been told that. And she's like, you know what, I feel like you might have them, and I feel like they might be really big, because you say you have an IUD, but doing the checkups and looking at you, your IUD is sitting a little bit out of place, not where it's supposed to be, and typically women with bigger fibroids will push that IUD out of place, so it's not even doing its job. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that out for you today, and I want you to come back in a couple of days to do an ultrasound. Now, when they do an ultrasound at a gynecologist, sometimes they'll do it on your abdomen if you're pregnant, just to see how the baby is doing. Those are the ultrasounds we know of, but she said she's going to do a vaginal one so she can really go in there and see what's going on. So I'm like, okay, I came here to make sure everything is okay, and apparently everything is not okay. Some of the uncomfortable feelings that I had been feeling is like, I work out a lot, and sometimes I'll do like Supermans, which is where you lay on your abdomen and you Superman. But I don't know how to explain it, but that's literally what it is. And every time I would have to do something where I'm on my abdomen, it would really hurt. Like, I could not lay on my stomach. I'm telling you, when I feel lead, I feel lead. I'm literally sitting in the car in Georgia summer, and there's no AC on or anything. But when I set my mind to it, I'm like, I'm recording this video today, I'm gonna stop procrastinating it. So if I'm looking a little shining, that's the reason. So anyway, I go in for my second appointment, and she does the ultrasound, and she's like, hey, my suspicions were correct, you do have fibroids. She tried to measure them out with the ultrasound, and she was like, it's looking like 4 centimeters here, 6 centimeters here. Those are talking about the sizes of the fibroids, and she's like, and they're multiple. So at this point, I would highly recommend that you take them out surgically, because you've already been talking about how they've been giving you all these uncomfortable feelings and everything. And from the looks of it, they're that size where they need to be taken out, especially if you ever want to consider like having a baby or anything like that. They're to the point where they might be blocking your uterus and all that, and essentially there's no room for a baby to grow in your abdomen right now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that explains the weight gain, because I'm out here hustling, but then like I've been gaining weight, especially in that area, and it's been so uncomfortable. So I almost felt like justified in some way. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not doing so bad, and that's just like my little vain way of being like, maybe it's not me after all. And I get it's just a body, whatever, but like when you see you've been gaining weight and you've been doing all things necessary, taking care of your body, working out, whatever, it's kind of discouraging. So that was kind of like a positive thing that came out of the whole situation. But anyway, I talked to her about my options and what surgery would look like. She did give me other options that I could pursue other than surgery, but then after consulting her, surgery seemed to be the best option and what would fit me best. So she was like, hey, the surgery practically is like a C-section. We'll make an incision on your lower abdomen, take that stuff out, and then sew you up, and the recovery is gonna be like a C-section too. And this is the best way for her to compare it to. She's like, yeah, so you're pretty much gonna be out for like 6 weeks. And I was like, I am a teacher, I work on my feet, that is not possible. So if we were to do this, it would have to be next year in the summer, where I would have that time to recover and actually not take paid time off or whatever it is. And then the next question I asked her is like, would it be okay if I waited that long? And she's like, yeah, from the looks of things, they've been growing pretty fast. Granted, I hadn't been to a gynecologist in like 3 years, which is why I'm making this video, because y'all need to get yourselves checked annually like they recommend, because in the last 3 years, like, they had developed and they had grown and they had gotten to this place. So because we already knew that mine were growing faster, I was concerned that if I waited till the summer that it would be a whole situation. But she reassured me like, no, that's not how it is, you'll be fine, wait till the summer. So it is the summer right now. I had my surgery about 3 weeks ago. It was rough because the first 2 weeks I could not even go up and down the stairs, because obviously it's at your abdomen. You do everything with your abs, getting out of bed, like walking. It's still very hard for me now because I'm still in my recovery process. Like I said, this was about like 3 weeks ago. And for an active person and a person, oh my gosh, why am I crying now? I think for me, the hardest part has been not being as active as I am. If you follow me on social media, you know I'm always working out. I'm always working at my job or my other job or doing something like that. So not being able to do those things, I didn't know how down and out it would put me. But that's not the point of this video. The whole point of this video is to just tell you guys that you need to take care of your bodies. You need to take care of yourself. You need to go to those checkups. She took them out. The biggest one ended up being 15 centimeters. I have pictures and it's like a huge, it looks like one of those mini soccer balls that you used to play with as a child. And she took out 12 others. So I had a lot of them in there. In the 3rd week of recovery, I'm already seeing my stomach going back down. But now I'm all over the place. So there's a couple of things that I want you guys to get out of this video. Number one is, get yourself checked, you know, like go to those annual checkups, go to the doctor, get your physical done, get all these things done, because you never really know what is going on. Obviously I wouldn't wish this on anyone, but you never really know what's going on, so get yourself checked. Next thing is, be very sensitive when it comes to women, especially in marriages and when it comes to reproductive health. It's not your business whether or not they're trying for children or why they've been married so long and don't have any kids. I'm not saying that I'm not able to have children or anything like that. That's not at all what I'm saying. Like I said in the beginning of my video, me and my husband, that's just not our journey right now. You know what I mean? I had an IUD until I had to take it out because of this whole procedure. So it's not your business. Let people live their lives. Don't be quick to judge when people put on weight because you never really know what's going on in their lives. And just be kind to people, right? So I am going to stop this video right here. I hope this video made someone feel a little less lonely. If you are someone who has gone through something similar or is currently going through something similar, if you want to reach out, my DMs or wherever I post this are open. And yeah, let's have conversations like this. Let's have more difficult conversations. Bye.